Alright folks, welcome back. You send me your seed, and I show you at least one thing you might not have thought of on your own. This is Balatro every day, and today, BaitWiz wants us to play on my favorite deck, the Zodiac deck. Let's give it a try. Here's Gold Stake Zodiac deck. Okay, in the first round, I can try to get some hearts. I don't have a flush, but I could play this full house, I guess. Kings and sixes, sure, why not? Let's see here. Perishable Blackboard, maybe not as a perishable. Zany Joker, maybe not as a rental. If Zany Joker is not a rental, do you take it? If Blackboard is not a perishable, do you take it? I think Blackboard, yes. I would take Blackboard over Zany Joker, but if Blackboard wasn't here, I would take a Zany Joker that wasn't a rental. So if it wasn't a rental, you'd probably take Zany Joker and not open the Buffoon pack, but since both of these are unusable, could be Buffoon pack. You could also take an Earth card. Usually we don't do Earth because full houses are just difficult to draw, right? So let's go Buffoon pack. Cola or Abstract. Abstract is great. One thing we could do is we could take the rental temporarily, and then we might end up selling it mid-round. Here I can try to go for a spade flush, try to go for a hearts flush, could go for a straight. With either a 7 or a 2, it's kind of a low straight, and we don't have that much mult. I'm going to try to get a flush. Let's go spades. Missing on the spades. Again, we have this opportunity. Could be a straight, could be either a queen or an 8 for the straight. Could be we keep discarding for the clubs, maybe. Sure. And we do get the flush. So with the flush, normally 300 points, I only need +2 mult in order to get to 450. So we sell Zany Joker here and this should be fine. Should be well over 500. Cool. To-do list on high card. This is an interesting decision already. In the short term, I can probably get 12 bucks against this boss. So short term you get 12 bucks. Long term you have to pay the rental fee every round forever. Is that something that we could want to commit to? Probably not. If it wasn't a rental, do you take to-do list as an eternal? I think the answer is yes. If I'm not taking the to-do list, do I want anything else? Probably not. So let's go next. Alright, we can try to get diamonds as a flush. Almost a straight here. I would need either a king or an 8, but we already threw away 2 kings. So I think we keep going for the flush. Missing on the flush, but I could play the 10 high straight. Alright, we don't need much here. We can play another, it could be an 8 high straight. Okay. Could be Grimbo. What's the boss here? Boss is extra large. So probably we can take Grimbo. It is a rental, but stacking plus mult is pretty strong. Do we want to pick up Uranus here? Do we want to take a Celestial pack? I think if this were not a rental, I would pick up Uranus here. Because it is a rental, I have to be a little bit more conservative with my money. And if I'm being more conservative, let's go next. We can probably make this work. I could try to get a hearts flush. I could try to get a spades flush. Let's go for spades. One thing with Grimbo here, we want to use all of our discards first. So let's go spades flush because we have the 10 and 9 together. It could be a straight possibly. 9s and 8s as 2 pair. I have a flush. So do we want to play the pair? Do we want to play 2 pair? Do we want to play high card with Grimbo? Go one more. Alright, how about I play Probably, I guess, probably I just play the pair of 4s. Alright, this is going to work out fine. I can play a pair of 2s. I probably shouldn't play a pair of 2s since we have not that many spades. I could play queen high. So, some considerations. We've done this in the past where we had the bust that was a rental instead of green joker that's a rental. It's kind of the same thing. And so the question is, do we use all of our hands? In which case we're losing money. It costs us 4 hands, that's $4, which we could have used that money to pay for the rental fee. But if we stack up the green joker, then I don't need to use my money to buy other stuff. I would say because of this boss, because of the extra large, go ahead, use all the hands. Otherwise, maybe we might try to be more conservative. 15 bucks, we still get $3 interest. All right, here, do you take a mime? Big upside on the mime. You could get a gold card. If you do get a gold card, maybe green joker prevents you from drawing the gold card if you're not using your discards. And when you do draw the gold card, mime adds $3 sometimes. Probably mime is best in the situation where you have blue seals, which we don't currently have, and we don't know if we will have. I think if green joker is not a rental, if we're really relaxed on money, I think you could take the mime here speculatively, and then it works out later. But because we have the rental, again here being slightly more conservative with my money, I think I don't take the mime. One benefit of taking the mime, of course, then you get a little bit more abstract joker value. No mime here. Do we take the hung man? Almost always yes. I guess, like, if you open an early Arcana pack, do you take a Hermit or do you take a Hung Man? Usually you take the Hermit, usually you take the money just to get the build off the ground and you start removing cards later, and so it's kind of the same thing here. Do we take the Hung Man potentially at the cost of interest because we have the rental green joker? I think maybe this is something that I can wait on. I think if you have green joker and you are planning on playing pairs, maybe this is something which definitely matters, but maybe is not super important to do. So let's go next. I could play a pair of aces. I could play 2 pair, aces and kings. I could try to dig for another flush. Let's do a flush, starting from a pair. Pair is already 400 points. I could play high card 10. And then, do we want to play the flush right away? Flush plus 12 mult wins. We can play high card. There we go. And we just want to get things nice and stacked up before the boss. So there, the flush is 1400 points against the boss here. We're going to need multiple 5-card hands. That's a little bit spooky. We have an obelisk, we have a runner. Probably we end up taking these. I guess it depends on what happens inside the spectral pack. So one thing you could do is you could take these, open the spectral pack. There could be an Ankh, in which case you would use not an Ankh. What is it? Wraith for a random rare. Or maybe, depending on what happens, maybe I don't take these. Maybe I want a Hex. I'm gonna go Spectral Pack first. We miss out on the opportunity to do a Wraith, but could be Immolate, could be a Blue Seal. This is interesting. So if you did have the Mime, then you get rewarded for having the Mime, because you can copy the Blue Seal. I think probably the safest thing to do is take the Blue Seal and then just do pairs with Grimbo. So let's do something a little bit more exciting. So once again here, the safe thing to do is you just take the Blue Seal, you spam pairs. If I immolate, we can do this. Take the runner, take the obelisk. Do we also want seed money? Probably not, because we have rental Grimbo. Do we want Wrathful to potentially help us against this boss? I think now that I have extra molt on Abstract Joker, I do have the runner for chips. Obelisk here could be pairs, could be 2-pair. I think I'm fine. Let's go next. If you want to do the obelisk, one thing that you look for is, okay, can I get a source of scaling chips? Because then I can allow my different hands to score the same amount of points. Leveraging the chips from the runner, I just have to figure out, can we even get straights? We did lose a 10, we did lose 2 8s. Looks like the high straights are best, except for the missing 10s. So here, for the sake of survival, maybe it makes sense to do queens and jacks and just do the 2-pair and get out of here. So maybe a long-term plan would be scaling the runner and then eventually scaling the obelisk. I think let's do the 2-pair plan. Let's not mess around with the wall, right? I can throw a queen here. I could try to get a flush. I think I'm just going to play 2-pair a bunch of times. Get that short-term obelisk value. This does cost us our long-term obelisk value. We won't be able to grow the obelisk as easily later. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Great. And then now it's okay if we reset the obelisk. So, could be a fool. If we had taken the hung man, this would be a hung man. I could go Arcana, could go Buffoon Pack. Probably the main thing I'm looking for now is a value generating Joker. I don't think I need the Gelato as another rental. I think I don't need Supernova as a perishable. I could go Arcana. The rental takes me down to 26 bucks. Let's go Arcana and then we can look for something to do with this fool. Could be make a gold card. Could be Judgment. I like, with the rental, I like the idea of making a gold card. Probably then you want to make a gold jack. And then we can use the fool to make another one. Alright, in that case, do we... Could take the Gelato... Could take a Buffoon Pack. I think I don't need the Buffoon Pack. I think I want to save my money for Grimbo. Let's go next. Gelato, we're probably going to sell it. Here, I want to try to get my 8, but I only have 2 8s in the deck. Maybe I play the flush? No, I want to do high card. I want to not play too many pairs so that I can play pairs later, but I need to dig for the straight. So maybe something like this. If we do play the high card, do we keep the Gelato here? Maybe the Gelato is too strong. Okay, I can play ace high. We did get the 8. That's a little bit unfortunate. Now I'm looking for the 10. I might end up using a discard. I have a straight. Does this straight win? Probably. Knowing that this wins, we can play high card here. We can make a gold card. Alright, so how about a gold ace? Play jack high straight. And then this boss, yeah, diamonds, okay. Alright. Justice could be Crazy Joker. Probably don't need Justice. Probably I want Arcana Pack, looking for more money. Could be Fool for another Devil, I guess. In that case, go next. Alright, here, once again, 2-pair, I kind of want to save it for later, but I do want to draw that straight. So, try to get the 10. I am looking for either an 8, can't get an 8. I'm looking for a queen here. if I play the pair of twos. I did not get the queen. Are we... I guess here I'm trading money for the ability to get the straight. And maybe that's okay. I do get the straight. I can make a gold 2. Alright. Not going to complain about that. Alright, so that straight was 7,600. Without the obelisk, it would be half as much. So about 3,500, I guess. Could be Senor Huesos here. Maybe that's the thing that we want to do. Let's go Arcana for money first. Could be Emperor, then Judgment. Lustful, probably not. I could start looking inside standard packs. I'm looking for more 10s for my straights. Red Glass 7 is kind of interesting, but I think I just want the 10 so that I can play my straights more consistently. Can't afford Honu. Probably we don't need Huesos. Let's go next. Alright. All I gotta do is get an 8 or a 3. Seems plausible. I will reset the obelisk. I think that's fine. Okay, one more time. We might discard here. So, do we want to trade green joker value to try to get the runner value instead? Maybe. It doesn't seem that good, so I think I'm going to, let's see, a rental, $3. Okay, just play high card then. Ah, bummer. Probably holding on to the gold card was a little bit greedy, and maybe we shouldn't do that in the future. Alright, plutonium, mercury. In the short term, we're going to be playing high card to stack up the obelisk. Boss says base, chips and mold halved. How about standard pack? I don't need a rock. Could take Faceless to replace Lustful Joker, but we're not really going to be using our discards, probably. So we just take a free reroll here, I guess. 8-ball or no 8-ball? Probably no 8-ball. Do I want to... I could start leveling up my pairs now. And then that can be my end game with the obelisk. Maybe. I wish I had a better stacking chips rather than the runner. This would be a lot easier. I'll take Mercury, that's fine. Let's go one more. Could be Hermie, could be Zany, no. Idle, no. Huesos is back. Splash is good for short-term chips, short-term survivability, maybe. And Hierophant helps against this boss. We don't need an investment tag this late. Alright. I'm looking for my straight. Playing a pair is awkward. Maybe we should have played the 7. I do have the 10. Maybe we throw away the 2, try to get the jack. Alright, does this high card win? Probably. 10 and queen, we can use Hyro. Maybe I'm not supposed to use Hyro because of... could get a fool for that hermit that we just had. Alright, there's a photograph, which maybe with Grimbo you don't need, and also our hands are not very high level. Probably no photograph. Could take a gold card. No ancient joker. Is it perishable? Alright, so we get hermit here. We could make a gold card. I could use the moon to make clubs. We have the diamonds boss, so maybe what we want to do is make diamonds, right? I guess we also had the clubs boss. Alright, temperance is 10 bucks. So sure. Then we can reroll a little bit. Could be chariot here. Probably not super important, but also maybe the moon is not super important. Making clubs does help with the obelisk, I guess. Go one more. Alright, fortune teller is maybe better than splash as like some short-term plus molt. Maybe. I think I'll keep splash for the chips. That's fine. Let's go next. Alright, I can turn 3 hearts into clubs. I can try to get the straight. Okay, I need a 9 or an ace. There's the ace. I can make a gold 8. So this straight probably wins. Do we want to play high card 3 first? There we go. Alright, trying to get this straight against the boss. We get Hermie, we get a Saturn card. Saturn makes sense, maybe Jupiter makes sense too. Maybe I can't justify the expense. Do I want a 9 as a steel card? Nah, seems not necessary. Could be another moon. Maybe against the boss we force a flush. Maybe we set up a blackboard. Could be Arcana here. Maybe reroll one more time. Temperance we're gonna hold on to. Death card. So could be make some lucky cards. Could be make some clubs here. I like the idea of making lucky cards. I think maybe with the death card is not necessary. You could make more of these face cards for our straights. Doesn't help that much. So let's go moon, and then could be, I don't know, queen and jack are the cards that we're most likely to play, and then we can go temperance. Could be parking instead of splash. I like splash for this boss. Could be take a magician. Maybe superposition is fun. Maybe not as a rental though. Could be take. I think with runner on 45 we don't need splash, and we can take Michelle here. Let's go next. All right, I need to hit the 5. So start with high card. My high card is not good. I can get either a 9 or a 5. And then it's 10k for the straight. I can play the straight. I will play the straight. So let's make some more lucky cards. And then if this doesn't win, okay, fine. All right, now we got 16 on the high card. This boss says spades are debuffed. Spectral pack, celestial pack. Do we need celestial packs? Right now I'm trying to play high card in straights. My long-term plan may be pairs. Maybe celestial pack is not super important for us. Maybe actually I just want to re-roll and then open this spectral pack. Empress, maybe. Alright, now we could do a blue seal on a 2. Maybe it makes more sense to put a blue seal on the 10, since that card is central to our straights. Yeah, maybe blue seal 10. And then no Empress, we don't need. Alright. Let's try to get a straight. Choosing not to play the pair on purpose. Alright, I need an 8. I don't have that many 8s. I have, let's see here, I need to get a king or an 8. Seems plausible. Okay. We got a discard. There's the straight. And then that's worth 10k. Alright. We're cool with that. Notably, in the next round, it's getting a little bit spooky. Probably we don't... You can do rebate with Grimbo. What you do is you just use 1 discard per round instead of 2 discards. You use 1 discard to discard 2 cards at a time. It's possible. But maybe we don't have enough Joker slots. Let's go standard pack. Could be a 6, could be a gold 9. Gold 9 is most compatible with both the ability to play straights and then also, you know, maybe a 2 or maybe a pair plan. Maybe it's time to switch to pairs. Unclear. Maybe we just don't take a 9. Alright, Earth and Jupiter are both fine. Let's go next. Alright, so obviously it's best if we get a straight. And we reasonably get a straight. Maybe. Are we transitioning to pairs? Maybe. I would be able to play 12 pairs, which is not a lot of pairs. I could play high card. I think my high card is not strong enough. I think we do have to do the pairs. Okay. I can play a pair of 2s. I could play a flush. How about, could be 2 pair. Maybe the straight is not happening. Maybe we play 2 pair. Aces and 6s. Plus 20 there means we win. She left. Alright. So in that case, buffoon pack. Trio, maybe not. As a rental, maybe not. Go next. Spades are debuffed. Alright. Could be we play the pair of 9s and we look for either an ace or a 6. I like that idea. I probably don't play high card. We don't want to reset the obelisk. Maybe we miss on the straight and then we play the flush. Maybe we discard once. We did not get the 6 or the ace. We get the 6 here and play that straight, which probably doesn't win, right? Then we can follow up with a flush. Cool. Should have sold one of the planet cards because the rental fee is going to take me down to 24. Maybe should have sold Jimbo. Oh, well, that's fine. Arcana, I need more money. This boss says decrease level of poker hand. Great. I could stone the 4. I could make some diamonds. I don't think the steel card's going to be very important. Could be you make a wild card. Maybe a wild king. Actually. And then go next. Alright, so here, straight would be best, but let's not risk it. Let's go 2 pair seems good. Alright, I could play a pair of 7s. I could discard for the 8. That seems dubious. Could play the pair of 7s, but then we might run out of pairs. Okay, I could do a full house. Alright. Obelisk is ×3. Could get a shortcut. That helps with the ability to play straights. And maybe later on straight flushes. I could see that. I want to go Arcana first, see if we can get money. We could get a death card. We could use that to make another jack. Maybe turn a 4 into a jack rather than... Maybe I want to copy this wild king so that we have a wild card. So if you do take the shortcut, and I think you should, do we take the priestess here? Now we have 2 rentals. I think in that case I go next. Alright, what can I do for you? We can go play this straight. Looking for opportunities to play straight flush if we can, when we can. I could play not a straight. I could discard a little bit here, try to get a flush. I could try to get another straight that way. Should have sold one of the planet cards again. Lose $1 of interest. Okay, could take a death card, could take Neptune. Maybe the straight flush plan, that is my long-term plan. This boss is going to de-level my hands, so maybe no earth, maybe pick up death, maybe go next. Alright, I could probably start by discarding. I think I play the flush. I think if we play straights, my straights could de-level, so let's just play the flushes. I could play 2 pairs, 6s and queens. Maybe death there to copy a queen is the correct move. I could play a full house. I probably save the death card for an emergency. Let's go next. ×4 on the obelisk. Okay. Bartolomeo. I have 4 lucky cards. All I need is for it to hit once, and then it's better than Abstract Joker, so probably we should do that. And then standard pack we can't afford since we have 2 rentals. Alright, I can play this straight. And just checking 8 more straights after this one. Could be 2 pair here. Never lucky. Could be pair the 7s. Could be turn the 5 into a lucky 10. Lucky 10 makes sense. And then we can do 2 pair. Sure. Bummer. Alright, extra 10 should help with the straight flushes. Could be a blackboard now. If we took blackboard, we'd have to get rid of the runner. We don't have room for the blackboard. We don't have room for these buffoon packs. So easy, just go next. There was an opportunity, could have skipped for 26 bucks. I guess 26 is not that much. Probably here you play another 2 pair. Try to draw either a 10 or a jack. I can do this straight. Unlucky. I have a few more pairs left to play. We can't play high card, but I could play a pair of queens. Alright. Standard pack. Boss says no high cards. So I'll check the standard pack looking for more clubs. Could be an ace of clubs for my straight flushes. Could be no polychrome here. Blank voucher not likely to help us, so maybe we don't take it. Maybe we reroll once and take a Neptune card. Alright, can't play high card. We weren't planning on that anyway. I could play 2 pair. I could play the flush. I kind of want to play the 2 pair because I think the flush will prevent us from playing the straight flush. Might prevent us from playing the straight. Maybe it's okay to play pairs. Maybe. Let's play 2 pair. I am close to a straight flush, not quite there. I want to play the lucky jack. I could just play a flush. I could play the pair. Should be fine. I can play this straight flush. Unlucky. Okay. Okay, I mean, definitely we take Hermie. Definitely we take the boss reroll. I don't know if this devil is gonna matter that much. Moon? Or make more luckies? Probably we should just make more clubs. Even though that's not very exciting. Go next. Alright, I have 2 pair still. I have full house still. And then we could discard. Could be trying to get a flush. Could be 2 pair again. Turn the 10 into gold. I guess 2 pair is okay. Alright, checking the hands here. Alright, straights 2 pair, pairs, everything's fine. Alright, Saturn, maybe. 2 standard packs. Could be more clubs, could be Steel 3, maybe you don't need the 7 of clubs. Looking for slightly higher clubs probably. Could be a Queen of clubs. I could take a Queen of clubs. Let's get rid of the planets. Let's go next. This boss we probably want to reroll. Sure. Okay. I can get a straight flush, maybe. I could just play a flush, maybe. Could be a flush here. Could be you play 2 pair. Alright, we should be fine going into the boss now. I could play a pair of 9s. Okay. And then this stuff doesn't matter. I guess still take Saturn. Maybe try to get a Neptune card. Maybe Mercury. Alright, do I want a star? Star is not completely irrelevant. Let's go next. Alright, so this is a straight that we have, but it's not a straight flush. So let's, could be you play the flush. Alright, could be you play the pair of 9s. What is this? The 6. Alright, play the pair of 9s. Ace, king, probably full house. There we go, I guess. Alright. That one was a little bit of a thinker. I think we did that on purpose, right? We said, okay, there was a time you could have taken a blue seal. There was a time you could have taken a mime not knowing that you're going to get a blue seal and you get rewarded with the blue seal. If you've got green joker, maybe the thing that you want to do is you want to play pairs. We didn't see that many other X-Mold options. I guess there was a blackboard at some point, but it was, we had the obelisk, and so we decided to stick with the obelisk instead. If I see the obelisk, one thing that I think about is what is the enabler for the obelisk? One thing you could do is you could start out playing, let's say, flushes, and then later on upgrade to some higher flush variants. So you start out playing flushes, you upgrade to flush houses later. That could be a way that you grow the obelisk. You play flushes, and then maybe you play a couple high card in pairs as a way of stacking up the obelisk on your way to playing the flush house. You could play straights for a while, but then if you're really deep in straights and you have you know, a decent number of Saturn cards, all the Saturn cards giving you a ton of chips and molts and stuff like that, maybe it doesn't make sense to switch hands. So what I'm looking for with the obelisk is I'm looking for some kind of chips joker. So here, if the runners give me 165 chips, which is not a lot, by the way, that's only 11 straights, right? So with only 11 straights, with only 165 chips, that's still way more than my level 3 pair, which is only 2 Mercury cards. That's way more than my base level 4 of a kind, for example. And so with not even a lot of chips, Stuntman is 250, this is only 165. With only 165 chips, all of these are kind of equivalent. All of these score the same number of points. And so I can play pairs and 2 pair and straights, the occasional flush, the occasional full house, and 3 of a kind, and you don't have to get too complicated, right? There's a lot of different hands that you can play. You just play whatever you draw whenever you draw it. There might be some concern, okay, with green joker, if I'm not using my discards, I'm not able to find my straights for the runner, I'm not able to find my hands for the obelisk, but it's okay to discard a few times. You lose +1 molt, but what you gain is this scaling X molt, right? So we were able to get pretty early obelisk, you know, anti-2 obelisk, able to get up to 7.6. I think if you didn't have green joker, you could easily get this higher, or if you had an extra hand or something like that. Shortcut did help us a few times with a few straights, but maybe didn't do as much as I wanted to, and part of that was again here because of green joker preventing us from discarding, preventing us from finding our straights. It was a speculative pick, right? The cat didn't really work out. I think in Ante 7, maybe Ante 7 is a little bit too late for this, but we didn't really have anything else going on at the time, so maybe it makes sense to take it if you have nothing else going on. Overall, Pretty interesting seed. They did say, you know, BaitWiz says that it could be pretty interesting on the Zodiac deck. Take care, everyone.